I love the GameCube. It has this little handle on the back of it. Makes it really portable. The Nintendo 64 was ending its reign, its existence, and the next console from Nintendo was just around the corner, and Nintendo said, hey, let's give up. The GameCube was announced at E3 2001 alongside the Xbox, whoops, and alongside more news about the PS2, the highest selling video game console of all time, whoops. Obviously things weren't looking good for Nintendo, but you want to know how they turned it around? Sony hit it out of the park by using discs on their last console, the PlayStation, and Microsoft was looking to do the same on their new console, the Xbox. So while discs were all the rage on other consoles like the Xbox and PlayStation 2, Nintendo was over here shoving my Mario on some 1-inch micro disc. Yes, the classic mini GameCube discs. It's a neat way to say bad. However, this was the start, in my opinion, Nintendo's most ambitious era. In North America, the GameCube launched on November 18th, 2001 to a commercial, "What is this thing?" The console actually sold more than its competitors at launch, allegedly, but I don't think this means that the GameCube was more popular at launch. In my eyes, I just see it as the PS2 is really hard to get your hands on, so it technically sold less, but you might as well be asking, well, Hudson, what evidence do you have to say of that? The console itself was pretty basic in terms of controller design and the somewhat gimmickless playstyle, but while the console itself was nothing out of the ordinary, the games were some of the weirdest and, again I say, some of the most ambitious in Nintendo history. For all systems prior, they always launched with something that everyone would know and want to buy. Games like Super Mario World, Super Mario 64, and there's the GameCube. What the heck is a mansion? The GameCube launched with a new series, Luigi's Mansion. You play as Luigi, explore a haunted hotel, thwart ghosts, and save Mario from the clutches, or rather the frames, of King Boo. This was a bold move, and because of how unknown it was, unfortunately the game didn't... Oh, okay. Just a couple weeks later, a little game called Super Smash Bros. Melee came out, and people will just not shut up about it. This is probably one of the most important pieces of the GameCube's legacy, because even to this day, Melee is probably one of the biggest competitive fighting games, and I doubt that people will stop playing it anytime soon. However, even with all these great games, it was just not up to snuff with the absolute overflow of great games on Xbox and especially PS2, and this all comes back to those mini-discs. Because of how small and different they were, nobody made games for them. Like, really, think of how many third-party games there were on PlayStation and Xbox. Okay, great. Now, look at Nintendo. I mean, I guess they had Resident Evil, which you could play on all other platforms. Oh! But here's the kicker. You can play Sonic Adventure 2, a barely working game from a console that nobody had. But next year, Nintendo would prove them all with a brand new 3D Mario game, Super Mario Sunshine. Couldn't even finish that. Now, I love Super Mario Sunshine. Probably one of my favorite games, honestly, but this isn't great, especially after the behemoth that was Mario 64. I mean, there are some great parts of Mario Sunshine, but the fact that levels like the Sandbird, Manta Ray, or the Watermelon even exist and are objectively bad levels isn't great for your system's headlining game for your second year on the market. And when I think of Mario 64, all that comes to mind is, like, I guess Rainbow Ride, but it's really not hard or bad, it's just kind of boring. And that was 1996. 6 years before Mario Sunshine. But next year, they did it. They brought Metroid into 3D, and it was so worth the wait. Metroid Prime released in 2003 to tremendous appeal. It really felt like an evolution of the Metroid series. And then F-Zero GX and Mario Kart Double Dash came out the same year? No way! The GameCube was picking up steam game-wise, but at that point, nobody really cared unless they already had one, which I'm not sure if you've been following, but that's kind of nobody. But Nintendo didn't care. They kept pumping out amazing games. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, Pikmin, Chibi Robo, and that's when it happened. The Wii came out and sold over 100 million units, and that draws a close to the GameCube. But I will always love this console. Its controller, its games, it's really amazing. But I think it's time to do it. I'm gonna play Super Mario Sunshine. I just can't do it.